So now setting up on our backs here, we want to still set the feet parallel and hips width apart, just like when we started standing. We want to find a neutral pelvis and a neutral spine. So for everyone that's different, what you want to find is that the hip bones and the pubic bone lay parallel with the floor so that you're not off balance this way or this way. So this would be tucking, which we'll revisit later as well, and then this would be arching. So we want the fingers, the hands, and the bones to lay parallel with the floor. So for most of us, that means we will have a little bit of a space under the back, but the ribs will settle down into the floor. So there's that neutral pelvis, neutral spine. We allow the shoulders and the ribs to lay along the floor and the arms settling down by the sides. Now, if you tend to have very tight shoulders here, this would be where you can turn the palms to face up so that the shoulders are more likely to fall back and open. We'll start with our breathing here, just like we did standing. You're going to inhale, you're going to let the belly rise into the top hand, and exhale, let the belly fall into the back hand without smashing the low back down. So we inhale again, keeping that neutral pelvis, neutral spine, inhale. And exhale, feeling that belly to back, feeling a nice connection there. 2 more. Inhale, let the belly rise. And exhale, let the belly fall. And inhale, let the belly rise. And let the belly fall, connecting your abdominals to your spine while keeping the neutral pelvis. You can also think here that the hip bones are narrowing towards each other. So in total, it's like you've got a belt cinching around your waist and cinching around your hips. So it feels very connected, very drawn in and supportive to the spine, not grippy. So that's the difference. Now from here, we're going to work on mobilizing the spine. Now that you know what neutral is, we're going to work on other positions and mobilizing the spine. So you're going to inhale here in the neutral, and exhale, you're going to start to roll the low back and the belly down into the floor, now taking that space away. Inhale, back to neutral. Exhale, and drip the belly, drip the back into the floor. You'll feel no space in that whole place from the ribs to the pelvis. And back to neutral. Exhale to tuck. Feel like you're zipping up a zipper, or you can think here of this image of rolling a marble from your pubic bone all the way up to your ribs. And then as you release back to neutral, you can draw that marble back down to the starting point at your pubic bone. Let's stay with that for 2 more rounds. So on the exhale, you can zipper up or roll the marble up to the ribs. Inhale, release back to neutral. Good control in the movement. And exhale to tuck. Inhale, back to neutral. Then we're going to visit the side to side dimension here. So now we want to rock the hips just a little bit side to side. That's creating a little bit of a twisting in the spine. So that's going to loosen up the spine, loosen up the hips a little bit. And then settle back to the center. Now next we're going to do what's called pelvic clocking. So in the motions that we just did, up and down, side to side, we can also refer to those as the numbers on a clock. So if you think of your pelvis here as a clock with the face up, we'll reference our rib cage as the 12 o'clock, pubic bone or tailbone as the 6 o'clock, right hip 3 o'clock, left hip 9 o'clock. So from here, we're going to go ahead and start rolling the marble up to 12 We're going to take it around to the 3 o'clock, down and around to the 6 o'clock, around to 9 o'clock, and all the way back up to 12. Let's repeat that direction 3 more times. From 12, we're going to roll the marble around to the right hip, and then around to the tailbone, continuing around to the left hip, and back up to 12. 2 more, so here's the breath. Inhale. Exhale around the clock. And inhale back at your 12 o'clock in your tuck. 1 more time. Exhale around to the right. And pausing back at the 12. Reversing now to the left. So you're going to take your marble to the left hip, down to the tailbone, around to the right hip, back to 12 with the breathing. Inhale here at 12. Exhale around. Inhale in the 12. 2 more. One more. Pausing at the 12, and then releasing the marble back down to the pubic bone, finding neutral. And just settle here for 1 breath. We take this and build it up a little bit higher from the ground. We're going to roll the hips through the 12 o'clock tuck, rolling through the mid-back now, lifting the hips up, coming all the way to the shoulder blades. So depending on hip flexor tightness or quad tightness will determine how high your bridge might be at the first moment. Eventually it'll loosen up and get a little bit easier. Inhale here. And then exhale, roll down the spine. All the way back to neutral. And on the exhale, roll the marble from your pubic bone up all the way now to the collarbones. You're going to pause here. I want you to think about dropping the feet solid into the floor and gently drawing the heels back, just so that you can energetically connect better through the hamstrings and the hips. Meanwhile, the ribs and the belly are settled down. Our tendency here might be to pop and overuse the low back. So think of settling the ribs down, funneling the ribs down into the hips while we keep that nice lift through the back of the legs. Inhale. And exhale, slowly melting down, 1 vertebra at a time, taking that marble from your collarbones all the way back down to the pubic bone. So we'll go through that just 2 more times. Exhale, pelvic curl up. Slowly roll that marble up without it flying too fast. So you want to control that movement, resting that marble at your collarbone. Press down into the arms and into the feet. Remember to connect the heels back a little bit. And here you can even think to reach the knees forward to get a little more length through your thighs and through your hips. Inhale. Exhale, roll it down. You can continue to use that image of the marble if that's helping you. 1 more time, inhale. And exhale. Rolling through the spine, taking your time, creating nice space through the spine. And then at the top here, we're creating strength through the legs, the hips, the back, the shoulders, and the arms, waking up that back body. And then here we're going to add just a very simple heel lift on the right, and then down. Heel lift on the left, and down. So it's just the heel lifting. Nothing is changing in the hips. You are going to feel more work in the back of the legs. But as far as an alignment goes, you've got your rib funnel, you've got your neutral pelvis and spine. Last set, left heel lift and lower. For this one here, we're going to toss the arms overhead, Feeling as if someone were pulling you by your wrist, getting nice and long there as your knees reach away from those hands. Inhale to prepare, and exhale, roll down one vertebra at a time, getting a nice long stretch through your back. Once your pelvis is back down to neutral, you can bring your arms back down by your sides. Taking one breath here to settle into that. You're going to bring your hands to the hips, and this is going to help you to feel the stability in your hips as well as the strength through your abdominals. So we want to draw our abdominals away from the fingertips, keeping that neutral pelvis, neutral spine, containing the ribs in as well. From here, the right leg, without the shift in the hips or the belly, the right leg is going to come up to tabletop, and then it's going to lower down. Let's use an exhale to help bring that leg up and down. Exhale, right leg. And down. So earlier standing, we did a hip hinge. From standing, we folded forward at the crease of the hips. Here now, we're folding the crease of the hips by moving the leg towards the body. We want to keep the tailbone heavy so that we're not tucking. We also want to keep the back really strong so that we're not arching. One more set here. And settle. Adding on to that, we're going to take that right leg again on the exhale up to tabletop. On the next exhale, bring your left leg to tabletop. So now with both legs at tabletop, it's a lot more challenging to hold that position. So it's going to require you to continue to recycle that belly to back cue and the hip bone cue as well. The tendency here is to arch. So let the backs of the rib cage settle down into the floor. Feel the fronts of the rib settling into the backs of the rib. The arms and shoulders press down and anchor down. And we go into alternating toe taps from here. So it's right toe, and then you switch the legs. And now there is the option to not tap all the way down to the floor if it's not feeling ready to do so. So if the back is feeling any strain, or if the abs are feeling like they can't stay in, you just do a small range of motion. One more set here. Bringing the legs back together. Here's an option to challenge the movement a little bit more. This time around, I'd like us to work with our tucked pelvis and spine. So you're going to feel that marble come from your pubic bone all the way up to your ribs. So now your back is settled into the ground, your belly and your back are imprinted down into the mat. Here we're going to lower both legs just halfway down, and then bring them back up. Exhale, lower the legs halfway down, and then bring them back up. So you want to really work to keep that belly pinned to the spine while the spine is melted into the floor. One more. You might get some really good quivers going on there. And back to the center. Keeping the legs here, continue to squeeze the hips, squeeze the legs. We're going to bring the arms up now over the chest. And with a little bit of opposition now, we're going to do right leg tap, left arm reach. And switch. So now it's going to become a little more challenging to keep that core body strong and connected. But now we're adding some opposition, which is really, really good for our brain, for our coordination, for our nervous system. And we're often moving many parts of our body at once, not just one. So this is good training for getting all of the pieces to work together. One more set. Come back to the center. And from here, let's go ahead and take those arms down first, and then one leg down at a time. then settle one breath. From here, we're going to interlace the hands behind the head. Now, really use your hands to help you here. So it's like a hammock for your head. We don't want to work from the neck or strain in any way from the neck or the face. So keep the head heavy. Elbows are going to be in just a nice wide position, not forcing too wide, not scrunching around the face, but just open enough to where it creates a good frame. And it's nice for the shoulders to settle in. We're going to inhale to prepare. And on the exhale now, we're going to just simply curl up off of the floor, bringing the head and shoulders up, and then lowering down. So here we're going to work with, as we exhale, we're going to melt the belly and the back into the floor, come up off the head and the shoulders, and lower. So here we can think now of the marble from the collarbones. As we exhale, we're going to roll that marble down through the sternum, down to the ribs, all the way down into the belly, and then laying back. Keeping the head supported, nice and heavy. Exhale, roll your marble from your throat, collarbones, down into the ribs, down into the belly. Feel your belly back into the floor. And lay back. 2 more. Inhale to lower. 1 more. Exhale to come up. From here now, you're going to reach forward. Reach yourself up a little higher, coming a little lower onto those ribs. From there, you circle the arms around, re-support the head and the neck, and lay back. Inhale. So now we have a new combo here to challenge the abdominals. You curl up, reach forward, and this helps bring a little bit weight so you can reach, come up a little higher, but more importantly, sink those abdominals a little deeper. Circle the arms around and lower down. 2 more. And reach, inhaling. Exhale, reach up a little higher. Now you're going to inhale. This time you could also take the arms over to the head and down. So 2 arm options, circling or reaching. We'll do the reaching arms again. Exhale to curl. Inhale, reach. Exhale, come up a little higher, imprinting your belly and your back a little deeper. And then reaching the arms overhead, exhale. Hands to the head and lower down. 1 more thing here for the abdominals. We're going to wake up those obliques. Exhale to curl, just like we did a moment ago. You're going to reach forward. This time, grab your right leg. Help pull yourself a little bit to that diagonal, and then 5 pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back to the center, reach, lower. We do that for the left side, inhale. Exhale 2, roll the marble down to the belly. Reach forward, both arms. Reach to the left leg, pull across. Now reach for 5 pulses. 1, keep the shoulders down. 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back to the center. And then reach. And lower. And the arms can come out from behind the head, settle down by your sides. And just settle here for a few breaths as you let the body save and assimilate all of that information, all those new openings, as well as connections.